Hey everyone, Jay Heilman here from ChristianMusicReview.org, and I have a very special guest with me today here. I have actor Mr. Kirk Cameron. Thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Now Kirk's here today for the Love Worth Fighting For marriage event. We're here in Lakeland, Florida, and let me ask you this, is Florida your favorite state to visit?
Is it my favorite state to visit?
Yeah.
Oh, man. See, you're putting me on the spot here. I do like visiting Florida. In fact, I had the best grouper sandwich I've ever had here in Florida. It was in Gainesville.
Oh, okay. Home of the Gators. Now, my first question for you is, how did you get involved with the marriage conferences? I mean, I know that we just talked to Warren, and his song, Love Is Not a Fight, is the name of the conference, but tell us how you got involved with this.
Well, I got involved, of course, coming out of the Fireproof movie. There were a lot of churches who were implementing the Fireproof Your Marriage Bible study. And so on the heels of that, it seemed to make a lot of sense to kick off some of those study events with a big celebration and event where Warren and I would come and we would launch the whole thing. Or some of those studies would be culminated with this event. And they went so well, the response was so good that we kept doing them. And so this year, I think, Eddie, we've got 10 maybe that we've done, or we'll have done 10 by the end of this year. And then next year, we're looking forward to doing more.
Yeah, and you guys are, you have one more, which is in Oklahoma, and then next year you've got twice as many. That's actually the only speaking engagements you'll be doing next year is with the Love Worth Fighting For events, right?
Probably not the only ones, but the majority of them I'm going to be reserving for the Love Worth Fighting For tour.
Well, we've enjoyed the event so far today, and you're actually working on a new film right now. A lot of people are probably asking, okay, well, Kirk's doing the marriage conference now, but what is he doing as far as film and TV goes? And, you know, you do Way the Master.
Right.
You've done the Left Behind movies in the past. You did Fireproof a couple years ago. And now you're working on a new film that's going to be coming out called Monumental. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, this is something brand new for me in terms of my involvement. It's not a film in which I'm acting. I'm producing this movie. It's a documentary film. And it's called Monumental. And it really is all about, as a dad of 6 kids, looking at the future of my children in this country and being very concerned about where I see our country headed. Economically, politically, spiritually, I think that it's very concerning and that we need to do something. And I found it difficult to find the answer by turning on the television and the radio because everyone's blaming everybody else and there's not seeming to be a clear voice. And so I thought, well, maybe the clearest voice on what we need to do before we financially collapse and we are just taken under morally and spiritually by some tyrannical regime is to look back at the men who built this country in the first place.
Absolutely right.
A small band of guys came over with their wives and their children and built the freest, richest, most prosperous nation that the world has ever known, and everyone wanted to come here, and still does. And they did it without a big army. They did it without a bunch of money. How did they do this? In the middle of a wilderness with no resources. And so I've gone on a search for the real treasure of America, and I retraced the escape route of the Pilgrims by going to England, visiting the dungeons that they were thrown into, the castles, the underground meeting places of their church, went to Holland, and then finally over to Plymouth, and then connecting those pilgrims with our founding fathers in Washington, D.C., and uncovering the real treasure of America. And it will blow your mind because it is not what's being taught in history books to our children. And the movie culminates with a monument that most people have never heard of. I'm almost positive you've never seen it. And it's called the Monument to the Forefathers. Have you ever seen it?
No.
100 years ago, the American people got together and they built the largest granite monument in the United States. And today, it's treated like the ugly stepsister of American monuments. Totally forgotten, neglected, and hidden. And it's the most important monument in our country. So I'm going to blow the whole thing wide open and give people the only proven, timeless, God-given strategy to reviving our nation and making it healthy and full of blessing like it once was. And it's called Monumental. You can find out more about it just by going to my Facebook page. Look me up on Facebook, or you could go to monumentalmovie.com.
Now, what's the timetable on this? When are you looking to actually?
In the spring, I think, is when it'll come out.
Okay.
That's the plan right now.
Okay. Well, I've actually read up on the site. I'm actually more intrigued to take a look at it, so I can't wait to see it. Now, you do something every year. You and your wife Chelsea, you do a summer camp, if you will, called Camp Firefly. And I tell you, the first time I read about it was when Fireproof had come out, and I was just very moved at the fact that this is something that you guys do each year. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Camp Firefly and what you want to do?
Camp Firefly is a camp for terminally and seriously ill children and their families. You can find out more about it if you visit campfirefly.com. It's got a website and video there, and you give you a good feel for it. But basically, it's a camp where my wife and my family and I invite 6 children who have cancer or other serious illnesses together with their moms and dads, brothers and sisters, and we take them away for a week-long, all-expense-paid vacation. So they can get away from the doctors and the hospitals and the needles and the treatments and all that stuff. Forget about all that. Dads can take off work and just be with their families and get to know other families who are going through the exact same thing at the same time. And it's at a family resort in Georgia called Callaway Gardens, and we stay in little private villas, and we have everything that you can think of to do, from water skiing to jet skiing to barn dances to golf, moms makeovers, special romantic dinners for the parents while the kids are having sleepover parties. I mean, all kinds of great stuff for the family to make some memories that they can hang on to for a lifetime.
That's awesome. Like I said, that really moved me when I was reading about that, but definitely check it out and support that if you can. Now,
I like the human tripod you have here.
It's my guy Leonard here doing the camera work, doing a good job. Now, a lot of people who have seen you in TV back in the 80s with Growing Pains, and then later on when you did the Left Behind, a lot of people ask, I see a lot of questions online, there's 3 Left Behind movies right now, but obviously there's more books than that Tim LaHaye wrote. Will we see Kirk Cameron in another Left Behind movie, or is that something that's part of the past?
I can't predict the future, but I don't see any signs of a Left Behind movie being made again. So I don't see Left Behind 4.
So it made its point with the 3, and then you got to go and read the books for the rest, find out what happens.
Yeah, again, I play Buck Williams. I'm not writing the scripts. I'm not producing them, so I'm really not in control of that. But as far as I know, there's no plans to make a number 4.
Okay. Well, you mentioned your Facebook page, and you got campfirefly.com. But how can people follow you and what you're doing online? You said you had a Facebook. Do you do Twitter or anything like that? Or
I don't Twitter. I don't tweet.
You don't tweet?
I don't tweet. I don't know how to tweet. I don't know how to Twitter. I'm busier than a one-legged man in a jumping contest. For me to start tweeting, and I don't know if I could jump and tweet at the same time. But you can visit my Facebook page, and you can go to kirkcameron.com, and that's got a list of all the different things that I'm doing, and including Camp Firefly, The Way of the Master, Monumental, Fireproof, and you can check it all out there. So go to the website or go to Facebook page. That'd be great.
Well, we can. I'm anxious to see Monumental, so we're going to keep an eye on that. So Kirk's saying go to his website, kirkcameron.com, to find out what all he's doing right now, and
sign up on the Facebook fan page.
Yes, and go and like Kirk Cameron on Facebook. Well, Kirk, we appreciate you today, and we appreciate what you're doing with this marriage event. My wife was very excited to be able to be here today. I kind of wondered if she was here for the marriage event or if she was here to meet Kirk Cameron. So well, just like you said, we were talking about that on the way here, so it comes out.
Well, you know what's funny is that my wife, she had posters of you on her wall.
Oh.
When she was a teenager. So, I know how you feel.
Oh, goodness. Well, Kirk Cameron, you asked me who the comedian was. We know who it is now. It's Mr. Cameron here. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and check those out. Thank you so much.